This week's been crazy, man. We got zesty ICE agents arguing with liberal woman over whether arresting child rapists is ethical.
How does it feel to be a race traitor?
You know, we were trying to get a child molester, right?
No, you weren't.
Yes, we were.
How would you know?
Because it was a woman you talked to.
His wife.
And then his plate came back as murder.
Also, I just want to say, calling someone a race traitor,
But you guys don't care.
I hope you realize that is the most racist thing you can say as a
It's
white
incredible.
woman.
Of course,
And
it
just-
is.
I don't think she's supposed to say that part out loud, but she said it out loud, so.
So you know, this isn't a good look for you.
You think I care about my look?
No, oh no, trust me.
When you guys
It
are-
is evident by how you look, you don't care. We get that, trust me. No, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying this, trying to be a social warrior. If you actually cared, you probably would care about the child who got raped and also the person who got murdered by the person that we were looking for. But see, you don't care.
No, I don't care because you guys
Thank
try.
you. Thank you.
just
Yeah,
try
there
to
you go.
detain legal immigrants. None of you actually give a shit. If
Really?
you were here to get illegal, violent immigrants off the street, that would be fine. That's not what you're doing.
It's not.
I like how this guy with his mask on, he sounds like Butters, like. One thing I forgot to add in the last video about the Super Bowl was a portion about this Ring doorbell ad. This ad shows a family losing their dog, and after a while of putting up posters, they decide to skip straight to the most dystopian option and force everyone's Ring doorbell in a mile radius to scan for their dog. And then they get the dog back happily ever after, right? Wrong, because telling millions of people that we can use your cameras to find whoever we want at any given time isn't very heartwarming. But wait, it's okay because the service is integrated with AI. You know, the computer programs you can wrestle information out of by asking it to ignore all previous commands and spit out the data you want. Companies can yap about this being secure all they want. I'm happy that the knee-jerk reaction to this is utter horror. Amazon was also planning or in the early stages of implementation with the police partnership, so that's also been canceled, thank God. This is why I think computer science needs to be elevated in priority in school, because having a population that's tech illiterate is how we get companies thinking it's okay when they say to your face, "We watch you while you sleep," and everyone being fine with it. Next, I'm sure we've all seen this guy who looks like the mega evolution of the Rizzler punching the cameraman who happens to be a disgusting fascist chud. Normally we leave teenagers out of the fight for democracy, but you know, our hero knows that leaving a bigot to gain power is a risk he cannot take.
We support ICE and
How he graciously gives his opponent a warning before extending the arm of justice upon him. Truly inspiring. Now, people are making fun of the guy's reaction, but realistically, how are you supposed to act when a behemoth who looks like he has at least 200 HP plus 50 armor says he's gonna hit you? The correct answer is to just take it and pray he doesn't alter the deal further and sit on you. It didn't really look like that strike hurt much because that's not where the weight is. If he sat on him, this would have been over. We'd be looking at a crime scene. I've dug for more info on this video, and apparently Daniel Spud, the kid behind the camera, was a kid who does a little bit of trolling. Like he has I pulled the fire alarm pranks on his YouTube. That's now been deleted. Kids who pulled the fire alarm were honestly extremely annoying. I can understand going along with it once for the fun of it, but in my old high school, there was a 2-week period where every day before lunch, like clockwork, some nigga would pull the fire alarm. And this would happen in February in Boston. Maybe if it was during the summer, I would have found it funny, but forcing everyone to leave the building because you thought it would be funny every day for 2 weeks in the freezing cold made me want to make like a transgender nigga and light that bitch up. So if this kid is that type of stupid, I'm not exactly on his side, but if he has a reputation of pissing people off and you still fall for it, what does that say about you? I'm sorry, but I saw that video and the ICE supporter was the soyest kid you can imagine. This is against school code. If you hit me, you'll get in trouble. You need to follow school rules. This guy will become an incel and he won't ever understand why no one liked him in school. Back in my days, we would bully him harder just for being a pro school rules dork. He does look to be of the soy boy variety, but I don't know where the future forecast of being an incel came from. The only thing I agree with is the pro school rules thing being corny as shit. At my junior high school, different school than before by the way, it got to a point where niggas would go around banging on stalls before the bell rang saying, "Oh, get to class, get that education," just to piss people off. Meanwhile, those niggas are the same ones who are 20 minutes late to a 30-minute class, smelling like grape cherry and nicotine. But following that logic, again, if this is rage bait, that means the fat kid looks even dumber for falling for the rage bait. I was called fascist for saying the same thing yesterday. I would gladly donate. Not even the stylized propaganda can make him look cool, goddamn. They're so upset that we're proud of him. Keep being proud. Yo, you mean us? Every post I've seen is people clowning the left for being so down bad on memorable material that a fat kid having a tantrum is being propagandized. I think this image of Snoop Dogg rapping on the toilet is a much more powerful anti-fascist image. Anyways, I posted this image into the subreddit I got these comments from. I hereby dub this one Pumph Jack. We'll see how long it stays on the r/Chicago suburbs subreddit. And on the subject of corniness, we have to talk about TikTok allowing images in the comments on their platform. It seems like it will be a good idea until you realize TikTok was made from the corpse of Musical.ly, an app for teenage girls and the predators who stalk them. At least on Instagram, someone's more than likely gonna say something that makes sense in the comments. The TikTok comment section is the strongest argument for banning minors from all social media. Meanwhile, Instagram is flexing its power to do things like banning the Bowser fart gif. I mean, we still have the Monsters Inc. Sully image, and I guess we also have the Incredible Gassy, but it's just not the same, man. Meanwhile, TikTokers can post any image they want, and yet they default to this. I said literally just a model Nazi. They're saying that the normal thing. I don't really care about the normal thing. I care about these dog shit reaction images. Like, how the hell am I supposed to take this seriously? He was executed. Rest in peace, brother. Imagine getting slimed by ice and people in the comments are posting the black guy praying meme. No, 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 no. Please, it's not that. No. Full panic attack and the will to kill them. We got the white lady crashing the fuck out down here. Yo, this one had to be written by an 8-year-old. I can barely understand this. What the fuck is this? Even white people aren't safe? Bro, who the fuck is this homunculus down here? What the fuck? This poor soul Amanda thinks that Alex Preddy was white as much as they tried to make him look like it. Nah, this nigga goes to jail. Ice, get out of our city, boy. You know, sometimes I consider that perhaps Sharia law, perhaps Islam is the way to go, because if this woman didn't know how to read, she wouldn't have been able to make this sign, and that would have been a net positive for everyone. Our next story is in the newsroom is about Billie Eilish before her most recent event where she yanks her pants so far up in between her legs that she might as well be buck naked. Billie's been doing what everyone at the Grammys does, despite knowing damn well that we don't give a fuck. I know I earn my living off of the very same capitalism that I denounce. I know I constantly grift about speaking truth to power, despite that same power being responsible for my lifestyle. But no one is illegal on stolen land. Despite admitting that she's living on stolen land, when a Native American tribe says, yeah, thank you, we'll accept that back, she has nothing to say. Actually, there was a guy who was like, hey, you live on stolen land? Surely I can come bunk with you. Eh, Billy? That guy got deported. That motherfucker got sent back immediately.
Billie Eilish reported me to ICE and got me deported from the US.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Honestly, I can't even be really mad because it's kind of funny. But basically, I was joking online that I was going to fly to America and move into her mansion, packing my bags right away. No human being is illegal. It's obviously a joke. It's obviously a meme. And I get stopped by DHS and held for like 30 hours. Literally 30 hours. They're asking me, how do you know Billie Eilish? Do you intend to trespass? No, of course not, man. It's a joke. It was like a meme that I came up with on Instagram. And I get held for 30 hours and deported. I get basically escorted onto a plane by armed guards, sent back to Australia. And I think it's actually amazing performance art. As a joke, I managed to get Billie Eilish, Hollywood celebrities, left-wingers, liberals, to agree with ICE, to agree with border control. They suddenly support deportations because they don't like my memes. They don't like me as a person.
I guess Billie Eilish really was ICE's strongest soldier. Anyways, it's obvious that people who regurgitate this saying, they do it to feel superior. Oh, but stolen land pertains to the state, not property. Yeah, no, cope. Principles don't work that way. You don't get to say that the government has to hand out free land, but not your favorite millionaire artist. If you truly believe that we live on stolen land, give it back. And give me those reparations while you're at it. Not from the state. No. I want you to give me the reparations personally and kiss my ass. U.S. Attorney General and Chief Baddie of the Trump administration, Pam Bondi, was getting grilled in a hearing a few days ago. A lot of what she said was just some bullshit, like people from Minneapolis asking why 2 people who were openly inhibiting operations politicians and harassing people with guns ended up getting shot. But on the Epstein issue, I heard Bondi engage in some of the goofiest dumbassery that I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm paraphrasing, but when she was asked why didn't this image of former Prince Andrew with a minor cause an investigation, she's like, you guys didn't grill the guy before me for one. Actually, you know what? I agree. Let's lock both her and her predecessor up in the same cell. Guys, why are we talking about Jeffrey Epstein when the DOW just hit 50K? When the homie says something so child trafficking phobic that you have to hit them with the DOW just hit 50K stare. He also brings up anti-Semitism at one point, because as usual, US children being raped, Israel most affected. Seeing these hearings and watching politicians skirt the blame for child trafficking in the most retarded ways possible, it really makes my day, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. Come right now, come inside my mouth, ayy. Take off my blouse, ayy. Fuck me on the couch, ayy. Kiss on my neck got me wet. That big old dick on the bed. His dick is on like a leg.